Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about the digital asset space. And let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. So to kick things off, I wanted to show you guys the payments hierarchy, kind of this hierarchical structure, as we can see here, of how payments in the landscape exist today. Again, here as we can see, Ripple simplifies interbank payments at the infrastructure level. So again, it does not replace the existing networks such as ACH, we can talk about UK's system, but enables them to become faster, cheaper, and more interconnected. Banks, clearinghouses, governments can build simple, powerful interbank. Again, not just intra, it's aiming to kind of connect all banks, all FIs globally, not just a bunch of little walled gardens, and which is essentially the same problem that we have today. We want standardization, interoperability to basically bring us to that next level to basically enable frictionless value transfers. All right, so as we can see, Ripple enabling payment execution and fund settlement to occur simultaneously and in real time. Again, 40-year-old technology, time to revamp the system and update it just like we can today with the Internet of Information, which is relatively open. All right, so this was actually shared to us by this gentleman. So we got Phil D, XRP. He does have a YouTube channel. I believe he is French. And as we can see, again, here he is right here. I know it says Belgium, but his YouTube channel is right here if you guys want to give him a follow. I know he does definitely know what he's talking about, and he does talk a lot about XRP specifically from what I can tell. So highly recommend you guys check him out. I'm going to subscribe to him as well. Turn on post notifications. All right, so as we can see here, he's just kind of showing this, what I'm showing you. We have the document down below, the IMT conference. This was from a few years ago, so keep that in mind. And let's kind of get through this, and I'll just kind of go through it. Ripple for financial institutions, executive summary, talking about that. In 2012 founded, financed by leading investors, again, Andreessen Horowitz, one of the biggest cryptocurrency funds to date, Google Ventures, IDG, etc., comprised of employees with experience in finance, payments, security, technology, and policy. So we got Google, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, U.S. Federal Reserve, Square, Visa, etc. I'm sure it's all just a coincidence. I'm sure that this is just some random group that came out of nowhere, and I hope that you guys can sense the sarcasm in my voice. All right, so right here, today we have online banking applications. Don't get me started on Interledger protocol. That will, play a fundamental role as well. We have the banks themselves, Bank of America, for example. We have settlement standards and governance, kind of the regulations, compliance, things of that nature. Then we have messaging formats and network rules, okay? ACH level. Message routing, okay? Again, messaging, clearing, all of this formats and message routing. Reconciliation, finding out who owes who, the obligations, and then what's at the foundation of this for the core ledgers of these global banks is the settlement infrastructure, the payments and settlements of the payment, the physical transfer with finality. All right, not taking 2 to 6 days, not 6% error rates today, not heavily not being extremely costly, having issues to scale to other industries and groups, and basically them all just trying to keep up with each other, days behind, and sometimes the payments being lost entirely. That's ridiculous, especially where we are today. So again, Ripple, already the bottom 2 layers, the foundation of this pyramid, so to speak, right? Whether it's Xcurrent and, all of OnDemand Liquidity, but when we say OnDemand Liquidity, or I should say RippleNet for the entire software suite, guys, XRP is the foundation of all of this. If you think that Ripple is going to continue to be a multi-billion-dollar successful private company out of Silicon Valley without utilizing their best weapon for this, again, getting rid of these pre-funded accounts and actually settling within seconds, if not a few minutes, if human intervention as well in terms of typing out everything and clicking. I just don't know what else to say. This is right in front of you. It's been laid out for years. All right, do not be fooled by the media. So again, guys, I just wanted to emphasize, to the Lifeboat's channel, his latest video was hilarious. Basic commentary on many Bitcoin maxis that we're talking about the halving. The things, I highly recommend you guys go check that video out if you want a good laugh. Again, it is To the Lifeboats on YouTube, and you can type in To the Lifeboats or XRP. Go to his channel and find the latest video about Bitcoin maximalists, and understand that I'm not against Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. I want tokenization of assets. I think this is a good thing for all of us. I just believe that XRP will be the one, or at least one of the key players to solve the payments problem, perhaps with, a few other key players. I just don't think Bitcoin's really, the technology to solve the payments problem. Remember, I think that Sam made this point too. 8 transactions per second for Bitcoin will not be able to scale to become a global currency, folks. With all due respect, I do not believe Bitcoin is going to solve this payments problem like XRP can. Every use case Bitcoin has, XRP can do better. Bitcoin is a blockchain, revolutionary tech. I love it. But blockchain is a subset of DLT, distributed ledger technology. XRP is a distributed consensus ledger that is built directly for the infrastructure to directly integrate into the existing financial system. Bitcoin maxis, even in that video, some of the biggest names in the industry, they didn't even know the definition of a remittance. They didn't know what a remittance payment was. And realize XRP is, they didn't even know this, that XRP is already being used in hundreds of millions of dollars per month in financial institution payment flows, guys, in live corridors today, solving the low value, higher volume, we're getting there, problems today. Over $1 billion in payments per year for real use cases. And we're going to get over, we're going to kind of show some of those numbers by the end of this video as well. Just some food for thought, guys. Okay, talking about how Ripple works. If you guys want to read about this, again, this was the IMT conference, how to integrate and use Ripple. And when they say Ripple, they're meaning the entire software suite, and XRP is an option. And notice that in due time and, in some of, low-hanging fruit today, it's already the best option for savings and, the fastest. All right. So again, my favorite thing just to show here was, just this hierarchy. So whenever I refer to, the bottom of the pyramid, this, structure, the payments hierarchy, this is what I'm referring to. Messaging and settlement. The settlement is the foundational layer. Okay, this is what we're aiming to replace altogether. All right, next up, this is really cool. So L Crypto King sharing this. Binance US, again, links in the description for this exchange if your state is, applicable, or you're, able to apply for this exchange rather than just Coinbase, but I have that link as well in the description. OTC Trading platform. So guys, over-the-counter trading is awesome. It comes with a plethora of benefits. I highly recommend, instead of just commenting on every video and asking what it is, there's this great website called Google, and you guys can actually search and, inform yourselves. And this is a well-written article on Medium. How does crypto over-the-counter trading actually work? And it comes through and explains, how it's not in the public order books, how there might be, a little bit more fees in terms of the spread, but it's well worth it for your privacy for large buyers. So the great thing with Binance US now for United States users is they can actually use this, and I was playing with it yesterday. As long as, if you guys are looking for 10K purchases or more, you guys can do this and actually probably without slippage and market buys, save a lot of money doing some big purchases. Now, why am I so excited about this? Well, if any of my current crypto holdings, XRP or any other digital asset, let's say moons, and I don't always like using that word, but let's say it skyrockets and goes 10x. And when I say 10x, I mean multiplies by 10x. Like literally multiplies by a factor of 10. I will want to probably reinvest some of those profits. Of course, I'll pay my taxes first, priorities. But when I want to reinvest and I have, a lot more money to kind of reinvest into other digital assets, I would like to go OTC, just so it's private. No one knows what I'm doing. Various exchanges. Of course, you want to have a level 3 fiat verification on the exchanges, get everything set up, increase those, withdrawal limits, etc. Just things that we've gone over on this channel to protect yourself, because now is the time to prepare for a bull run. You guys have had 2 years, maybe even more at this point. Yes, it's May. We've had well over that, time to, of course, accumulate. We get it. But in terms of prepping your exit plans, you know how I feel about exiting. I've done many videos about that. I don't give specific numbers, but it's all right in front of you guys. There's no excuses. We've had the time. You have to do what's right for you. I can't, tell you what is right for you because I don't know your specific situation. I don't know your age. I don't know your country, etc. All right? So again, none of this is financial advice, guys. Please just think for yourselves. With that video that Sam I Am, To The Lifeboats on YouTube shared with the Bitcoin maxis, some of the biggest names in the game, they know Bitcoin like the back of their hand. And yes, I respect their opinion with Bitcoin, but in terms of the payments landscape, absolutely not. So careful, please choose carefully who you watch. I'm going to continue to lay out the facts, but also speculate along the way because, speculation is how you make money in a speculative market. I'm not telling you to follow the money. I'm telling you to beat it there. Anticipate. All right. So right here, Leonidas, guys, XRParcade.com, great website to check on and basically learn all things XRP and Ripple related. So we have Go Mama prefers Ripple to Stellar. As we can see here, just to breeze through this, Go Mama was founded in New York 2018 by Eric Ramos with the aim to bank the unbanked in Latin America, penetrate the remittance and money transfer sector. Go Mama Payment Networks offers a mobile application built on Stellar's blockchain. Again, allows users to transfer money, pay utility bills, top up mobile phones for friends and family overseas, all right, without dealing with the high fees and low settlement times of traditional remittance services. So again, with slower settlement times, guys, of course it comes with waiting. High fees makes it incredibly expensive, especially for these countries that are already unbanked and may not have the most money to do this with, right? So this is helping everyday people. That's what I want to emphasize. All right, so Go Mama and Stellar in 2018, Go Mama partnered with Stellar. And again, there's going to be more than one winner. That's what I'm saying. But notice that, these blockchains, whether it's Stellar Dash or any other thing for potential payments in their protocols and integration, they have to scale. They have to be secure, and they're backed by true, you could say foundations, but they try to distribute and make the network as distributed and decentralized as possible. But you have to be kind of realistic, guys. To go to a completely decentralized protocol, whether it is the supply holdings or how the validators are chosen, you kind of have to be a little realistic. We're not going to overthrow the government. I'm looking to make money. And to me, it's not going to be with that former token I was talking about. For me, I'm a true XRP bull, but I do diversify as well. So Stellar aiming to reduce cross-border payment fees, okay? Talking about this, and again, discussions with Ripple, Dash, and Stellar, so multiple groups, as we've said. Talking about, Ramos again revealed that Go Mama would leverage blockchain tech for cross-border payments, increasing speed and transparency, while lowering costs primarily for the marginalized populations often left out by their limited access to the banking world. Who is working with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation with Mojaloop? Ripple. They are initiatives everywhere. And yes, Stellar is active in everywhere as well. And just so you guys know, Jed McCaleb of Stellar specifically said in a recent video that I saw, and I think Digital Asset Investor shared it, he said Ripple and Stellar, both foundations or both, groups, companies, are not in competition for each other. He said Ripple is going after very different customers than Stellar. So I've always believed that Ripple is going after the institutional money per se, financial institutions, of course with cross-border payments, don't get me wrong, but I think that their market is going to be much, much bigger. Stellar, potentially with XLM Lumens. And they explain why a cryptocurrency is needed for all of this, and I think it's great. Of course, you need a bridge asset, you need, a finite supply to prevent spam on the network, things of this nature, and it really, really makes a lot of sense in terms of, just anybody spamming the network. It was a really convincing video, and I mean, even Jed McCaleb, usually sometimes every time he says something with Ripple, one of the original founders, people just make fake articles about it. You have to look at who's really saying this and why. Everyone has an agenda at play. And I do too. I'm a complete XRP bull, but hopefully some of this is making sense and you guys kind of realize there's a method to the madness here. So, again, Ramos was talking about this, leveraging the blockchain. We've been discussing with both Ripple, Dash, and Stellar development foundations whose strong solutions can be seamlessly integrated into our remittance service. Again, this is XRParcade.com. Ripple offers advantages. We can see in 2019, he revealed that Go Mama's goal was to remain blockchain agnostic and use one or multiple blockchains in order to achieve the fastest possible settlement for transactions, while also achieving the most favorable exchange rate. Excuse me. And guys, remember, what was that? 2004, the International Monetary Fund had a document. I'll show it in a future video. You've probably already seen it. XRP was already named, and they called it what? Like exchange rate peg. And yes, it's a legitimate document on imf.org. Things that make you go, but I'm sure it's just another coincidence for you guys. All right. So right here, Go Mama's new partnership with Ripple will allow us to explore benefits of DLT, distributed ledger tech. Notice it's not just blockchain, guys. This is going to be distributed consensus. In my opinion, it's better suited for all of this. The consensus mechanism, it's basically going to become more distributed over time rather than more centralized with the Bitcoin halving. I just think that, the majority of Bitcoin will continue to become more and more centralized. Okay. So right here, now this is what's really cool. And again, of course, you guys can talk about on-demand liquidity, again, using XRP. This comes with no surprise since RippleNet is already a fully developed and functioning network with ODL, ODL, already being used in Mexico by MoneyGram and many other money transfer companies. More than 6% of remittances from the US to Mexico moved through Bitso, Ripple's ODL partner. Again, this is XRP, and XRP in April 2020, and the growth sees no signs of slowing down. Do you realize how much money is going through XRP right now? And keep in mind, this is still nothing. This is why we need such a high supply, because they are getting the ground running. They're laying the groundwork, I should say, the infrastructure, developing that liquidity over time. Once we start seeing slow and steady rises, and you see this utility ground floor rising, the speculative kind of flash crashes will not affect XRP. But yeah, I'm sure there's still time, and we still have to kind of wait for those actual roads and the plumbing to be completely ready in terms of liquidity being developed. But it should be right in front of you guys. If you sit down and think critically, there's no other project doing this right now with the biggest backing of the Federal Reserve, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft. Do you see why this is not just some random company? So right here, for example, and sorry about coughing so much, Bitso to use Ripple's ODL, on-demand liquidity, which is XRP. Specifically, guys, it's nothing else. When they see ODL, this is XRP, to process 20% of remittances to Mexico. So let's see this market. $35 billion per year. So again, we already know that they're using, it's not 6% anymore. It's over at least 10% now. We already know, yep, MoneyGram again, they're saying they acquired them. They kind of call it a strategic acquisition. Already uses XRP for 10% of its transfers of MoneyGram specifically. Okay, now they're going after 20% of MoneyGram's transfers of this entire market. So whether you wanted to take 10% of 35 billion, that's 3.5 billion, 20% of this look, Vogel hopes to catch as much as 20% weekly of remittances, a significant share of a market that uses 35 billion. Now, let's just say on the real high end, 20% of that 35 billion, rather than just, their specific share, that's $7 billion per year. But yeah, I'm sure this is a scam because it's lowering fees globally for payments to help not only the end users and everyday people like you and me that send money home to our family or friends cross borders, but it actually helps the banks and financial institutions using this technology. Again, this isn't even the slice of the pie, guys. I talk about why I'm not even really interested in on-demand liquidity. I'm looking at bigger use cases. I just wanted to make a short and sweet video to show you a few points and catch up after being out for a few days. It's all right in front of you. This is what I'll refer to a lot. I'm going to be going over tons and tons of information in future videos. Be sure to hit that bell icon again. We have this gentleman's YouTube channel. You can hit the bell icon, subscribe, and make sure you like this video. And I appreciate all that share this around on Twitter. It does help increase the views. Remember to check the links in the description. We do have the 50% off for the Nano Ledger S wallets. Okay, store your crypto. If you have any long-term holdings, do not leave them on exchanges. There's been many people that have had to learn that the hard way. They've never been cheaper than now. And guess what? When a bull run comes, the wallet prices, they all go up. So those that want to invest in themselves, secure your assets. If you actually have long-term holdings and you're looking to stay in this game and not speculatively hold an asset for a month, and you actually want to reap the rewards potentially, I highly recommend securing it. You do not have to use a Ledger Nano. That's just one of my top choices. There's many other wallets on the market, okay? Always do your own research, question everything, and I will see you in the next video.